you're about to watch a love story.
This is just a little bit of heaven here.
Alice loves this water. Joe loves this landscape.
It's Ocotillo. It's very thorny, as is everything out here.
Del loves this river valley.
And it is. It's just absolutely gorgeous. It's what I love about this country so much.
And Sarah, well, she loves science.
We got a red-breast sunfish, 118.
They all share a deep and lasting passion to protect the Devil's River. It's a wild part of Texas that's vulnerable and fragile. There are now new threats to the Devil's River Valley that's led these folks to unite as advocates for the Devil's River. And this is their story. Aquatic biologist Sarah Robertson is out with her river studies team to do some seining.
Let's go up and come down the side of this grass. One reason this place is so special is because there's a lot of unique species that occur here. So there are a lot of minnows that we don't find many other places in the U.S. This is the Devil's River minnow. So it used to occur in about 5 or 6 streams in West Texas, and over the last few decades, we believe it's been extirpated from some of those areas. 46, so now it's down to about three streams in West Texas.
The worry here is unregulated groundwater pumping. As Texas's population increases, the demand for water grows, which could threaten this pristine river.
The threat of groundwater pumping, it's a real worry out here. We're not exactly sure how much water could be pumped before we start seeing impacts to the springs and the species that are out here. So it's something that's definitely on the radar. We're putting a lot of research efforts in to try to better understand the system and how pumping like that would affect it.
Alice Ball-Strunk
There's so many butterflies out today.
is also worried about the health of the river. The headwaters of the Devil's River pretty much start right here.
This is what we call 7 springs. So these are the 7 major springs of the headwaters. It's so beautiful and we just all love it. It's just so dear to our heart.
Alice and many other folks worry that since there are no laws that say that you can't sell your water, the threat to pump and move that water for oil and gas or for big cities is real.
If there are huge withdrawals of groundwater, that will definitely affect the river. And it belongs to all of us in Texas. What we're fighting for goes away. We only have one chance to keep it flowing. You know, if it gets eaten up by pumpers and it gets dried up, then there's no river left.
Downstream from Alice's place is the Devil's River State Natural Area.
Big canyon country.
And Joe Joplin's the area manager. His job is to take care of the 37,000 acres of conserved land that sits along the Devil's River.
I feel very much at peace out here. There's no noises, just you, the wind. Can't beat the solitude. It's good for the human soul. The Devil's River State Natural Area is a rugged location. It has bluffs, steep canyons, and of course the Devil's River. You can come here and see what Texas was yesterday, before development, before heavy population growth. It still has that wild feel where you can refill your senses.
But there are threats encroaching on the scenic river valley. A wind farm has been built just miles from the Devil's River State Natural Area. And there are worries more wind farms are headed for this valley.
Texas only has 3% public lands remaining. And places like the Devil's River State Natural Area are true iconic features within those public landscapes. If there ever is industrialization in this area, it needs to be very thoughtful and done with community involvement.
They'll kind of move out.
One neighbor who lives across the river couldn't agree more. Del Dickinson and his family have ranched in the Devil's River Valley since the late 1800s.
It's about 2.5 miles straight that way to the river. I don't advise walking It is rougher than a corn cob.
Del spent his entire life here and has always loved his evenings by the fire.
Mesquite, good old burning mesquite. To me, sitting in front of a fire just takes all the bad stuff out, and there's nothing left but good.
But now there's something else sparkling in the distance.
Over the years, I've been able to look out over the horizon and see nothing but serenity. And now I look up and see something on the horizon that I just consider a flat abomination.
And just past sunset is when the problem truly presents itself.
This is one of the most wondrous, beautiful times of the day. It's called twilight, going into full dark, and now I look out there and I see these, pardon my language, god-awful lights out there. You can't get away from them. They're there forever.
Del worries that Texas will lose one of its truly iconic landscapes if wind farms were to expand here.
We see this panorama in front of us. Imagine how it's going to be if they're successful in further encroachment. We'll be able to go horizon to horizon and see them everywhere. And I have to say, I don't think this is what the citizens of Texas that own this river bargained for, asked for, or deserve.
From preservation-minded landowners like Del,
Ready?
to Sarah and her seining for science,
Sampling's been going good. We've been getting a lot of species. Texas Shiner, 53. So this is the Rio Grande darter. It's only found in the Rio Grande Basin in Texas, and it's listed as state threatened.
there's common ground here. This iconic Texas wonder is worth protecting.
This is a really special river. It's really unique. It's one of the last wild and scenic places in Texas.
Rio Grande darter, 42.
And all this work we're doing, building partnerships, doing research, it's in an effort to lay the groundwork for protections for this river so that it doesn't disappear.
People often comment when they leave the Devil's River that they left with more than they came with, meaning they got a refill of their spirit. Maybe it's the ruggedness, the steep canyons. But when you leave here, you have a sense that, man, I really saw something that was Texas. It feels wild, it feels untouched. That's the goal, to keep it that way.
This project was funded in part by a grant from the Sport Fish Restoration Program.